What if you could eat a real beefsteak and no animal was harmed to produce it? Not plant-based, not a substitute, not something that vaguely resembles meat if you squint hard enough. Actual meat, real muscle tissue, real fat, grown from cells in a steel tank in a laboratory. This isn't coming soon. It's here, and the global food industry has no idea how to respond to it yet. The process sounds insane until you understand it. Then it sounds inevitable. Scientists take a tiny tissue sample from a living animal, one small biopsy. The animal feels it and walks away. That's the last time any animal is involved in what comes next. From that sample, they isolate stem cells, the same type of cells that in a living body would multiply and build muscle and fat over the animal's lifetime. Except now those cells are going somewhere else entirely, into a bioreactor, a large stainless steel vessel that recreates the conditions inside an animal's body: warmth, oxygen, the right mix of nutrients, without the animal itself. The cells don't know the difference. They do what cells do. They multiply, billions of them, over a few weeks, forming real muscle tissue, real fat tissue, the actual biological components of meat. No animal fed for months, no transportation, no slaughter, just cells, a tank, and time. That tissue gets shaped into something recognizable. Nuggets first, burgers, eventually steaks, real meat. Zero animals killed. The environmental case for this is difficult to argue against. Conventional livestock farming is one of the biggest drivers of greenhouse gas emissions on the planet. It consumes land at a scale that is genuinely hard to visualize. It uses water in quantities that are becoming increasingly unsustainable in large parts of the world. And it depends on antibiotics, not just to treat sick animals, but to keep animals alive in the conditions that industrial farming requires. Cultivated meat removes most of that. Emissions could drop by up to 90% compared to conventional beef production. Land use drops dramatically. No antibiotics needed because there's no animal immune system to maintain. No growth hormones. No contamination risk from crowded facilities. But there's a problem, and the industry isn't hiding it. Cost. Getting cultivated meat to a price point that competes with conventional meat on a supermarket shelf is still an unsolved problem. The bioreactors are expensive. The growth media, the nutrient solution the cells live in, is expensive. And producing at the scale needed to actually replace meaningful volumes of conventional meat hasn't been done yet. Then there's the public. And the public is split in a way that matters. Some people look at this and see the most important food technology developed in decades, a way to keep eating meat without the planet paying for it. Others hear laboratory and cells and steel tanks and call it Frankenmeat, unnatural, wrong, something that shouldn't exist regardless of what the science says. That divide is real. It affects regulation, it affects investment, and it affects how fast this actually moves from high-end restaurant menus to the average supermarket. Upside Foods and Good Meat have already received regulatory approval in the United States and Singapore. The product exists and is being served in restaurants right now. This stopped being a science project a while ago. The question now isn't whether cultivated meat is real. It is real. The question is how fast the cost drops, how quickly the infrastructure scales, and whether enough people decide they're comfortable with what it is. Would you eat a steak grown in a bioreactor? Genuinely asking, drop it in the comments. Subscribe for more AgroFuture. See you next time.